Hello, I'm Dave and Hiskey, and you're watching the Today I Found Out YouTube channel. In the video today, we're looking at where the @ symbol came from and how it was decided to use it in email. Ubiquitous today, until its use in email addresses, the @ symbol was never really all that popular, with this very fact being one of the reasons it was chosen to be used in electronic message addresses in the first place. So where did the @ symbol come from? The earliest known example of the @ symbol is found in the 1345 Bulgarian translation of the 12th century Manassas Chronicle, which gives a brief synopsis of the history of the world up to the end of the 11th century. In it, the @ symbol was used as the symbol for amen. No presently known surviving instances of the @ symbol occurred again for a little over 2 centuries. As for the @ symbol, it labored in relative obscurity for several hundred years until one fateful day in 1971. In that year, engineer Ray Tomlinson was implementing his own version of a little program called Send Message. Send Message ran on the 10X operating system and was essentially just one of many flavors of a single computer email. In other words, an electronic mail system only capable of sending messages from one user to another on the same computer. While this might seem absurdly useless given the way people often use computers today, back then programs like this were incredibly handy. For instance, the Autodin system created in the early 1960s had a facility for sending messages between users and, at its peak, handled nearly 30 million electronic messages per month. MIT's compatible time-sharing system, CTSS, also created in the 1960s, had a similar system that allowed its numerous users to log in from some terminal and, among other things, exchange messages stored on this single machine. Tomlinson thought that it would be interesting to improve Send Message such that it could not only be used for sending messages to other users who could log into the same machine, but also be used to send messages from one computer to another via the budding ARPANET. Tomlinson stated he just thought this tweak to Send Message seemed like a neat idea. There was no directive to go forth and invent email. The ARPANET was a solution looking for a problem. A colleague, Jerry Birchfield, suggested that I not tell my boss what I had done because email wasn't in our statement of work. That was really said in jest because we were, after all, investigating ways in which to use the ARPANET. While writing the code for this, Tomlinson had to decide how to designate that a message should be sent to another computer on the network, rather than a local account. He faithfully settled on the @ symbol, a symbol that only made it on the standard keyboard in the first place because of its usage in commerce. So why did he choose the @ over some other symbol? For starters, Tomlinson stated, "I looked at the keyboard and I thought, what can I choose here that won't be confused with a username? If every person had an @ sign in their name, it wouldn't work too well." But they didn't. They did use commas and slashes and brackets. That left just a few symbols to choose from that weren't being commonly used. He noted that, at the time, the purpose of the @ sign in English was to indicate a unit price, for example, 10 items at $1.95. So it made sense. @ didn't appear in the name, so there would be no ambiguity about where the separation between login name and host name occurred. @ also had no significance in any editors that ran on 10X. I was later reminded that the Multics time-sharing system used @ as its line erase character. This caused a fair amount of grief in that community of users. The resulting format was login name at host, and later login name at host.domain, once the DNS system was developed. And so it was that what is generally credited as being the first true network email, at least as we think of it, was sent in late 1971 by Tomlinson. Of this momentous occasion, Tomlinson said the first message was sent between two DEC 10 machines that were literally side by side. The only physical connection they had, aside from the floor they sat on, was through the ARPANET. I sent a number of test messages to myself from one machine to the other. The test messages were entirely forgettable and I have therefore forgotten them. Most likely the first message was Qwertyuiop or something similar, essentially quickly randomly typing gibberish on the keyboard. When I was satisfied that the program seemed to work, I sent a message to the rest of my group explaining how to send messages over the network. The first use of network email announced its own existence, and the rest, as they say, is history. So thanks for watching this video. If you liked it, please click that like button below and also consider subscribing. And do check out our archives. We've got almost 700 videos now, so you're sure to find something you find interesting. Thanks for watching.